Hi, friends. Welcome back to another week of online learning. I miss you guys. So, we are going to be doing a decision making lesson this week called Decision Making with Mr. Smartbucks. Gives you the basic outline on its learning, but I want you guys to hop on over into Google Classrooms. The assignment is titled Amusement Park Decision Making with Mr. Smartbucks. You have three activities. Number 2 is going to take you the longest. Number 1 is just kind of an intro. Number 3 is just kind of a wrap up everything. But you're going to start with the You Want $1,000,000 assignment. So you'll click on this, and what you are going to do is it's kind of like a word association activity. So you start with if you want $1,000,000 in a contest, but in order to get the money, you have to spend it on one of the following choices. So would you spend $1,000,000 on a mansion? Would you donate it to a local museum? Would you pay for your child's or your college education and then give the remainder of the money to scholarships for other kids? Or would you buy a plane, car, and a boat? After you make your decision, you are going to answer the 3 whys to dig a little bit deeper into your decision. So I give you an example so you can get an idea of what to do. So first question is, what would you buy? So the answer, I would choose to buy a mansion. Why did you decide to buy this? I would buy a mansion because I want to own a big house. Why do you want to own a big house? I want to own a big house because I like to entertain or have people over. Why do you like to entertain? I like to entertain because I'm nice to a lot of people and I like spending time with my friends. So you're going to decide what of the 4 things did you want to buy and write your answer here. Why did you decide to buy this? Here. Why did you, whatever you just said in the one before, and then why right there. So this shouldn't take you a super long time. It's just kind of to get your mind thinking about why you make different decisions. When you're done with this, you just click the turn in button. All right, then you're going to move on to the second part. So this is the decision-making activity. For this, you're going to read about the problem related to the amusement park, and you're going to be given some choices about how to spend money to improve the park. You're going to be reading some articles and a chart, and then you're going to use evidence to justify your reasons. So to explain why that was what you wanted to do. So there's 2 files, I guess. There's 2 files down here. The first one is called the artifacts. So those are the articles in the chart. So this one, you're just going to look at it. You're going to be writing down your answers on the steps, the scenario steps for the online version. So first you'll click on the artifacts. And so this tells you what's going on in the park. Basically, your park is about to open, but there's a problem with the budget. You only have $36,000 left to spend. Your park can't open until you come up with a solution of how to get what you need left in the park because the park's not done yet. It will give you some information about customers, employees, and families. And then here it gives you some background information about the possible choices, the food alley, the photo booth, security, lost and found, and then to the employees. This tells you how much all of these cost. And you'll notice you can spend, like, if you have $36,000, you can do the food alley and something else, right? So it's a combination of these 5 things. There's also a customer survey results of what the customers would like to have. So the food alley, I wish this was in color. Hold on, let me pull this up. These go in order. So it's food alley is 36% of what the customers on the survey said that they wanted. 13% said they want a photo booth. 31% said that they want security, and 20% say that they want a lost and found. So after you look at these different artifacts, that gives you a lot of background information. You'll want to keep this file open so you can keep going back to it. And then you'll go to the steps, decision-making steps for the online version. All right, so you're going to answer these different questions and then click the turn in button. There we go. So what are the problems in the scenario that need to be solved? So you'll go back to the original scenario and come up with 3 potential problems. Then you're going to think about solutions. So solutions are how you're going to solve these problems. Well, problems are all related to not having what you need in the amusement park, right? So your solutions are going to be combinations of what you can spend the $36,000 on. So you'll go back and make sure you've read about these, and then that you see the expenses. So you might say, okay, well, one of my solutions is to do a food alley and a photo booth. Or another one of my solutions is to do the employees and the photo booth. It's like combinations, but you can't spend more than $36,000. Jerry's not happy. You'll write down 5 possible combinations. All right, now you're going to, Jerry, hush. Now you're going to come up with what we call criteria, which are basically like questions that you can use to help make your decision. So you're going to want to think about what's important to consider when deciding how to spend the money. Now, there's an example that I gave you here that talks about like if you're deciding what to wear to school, the criteria that you would consider would be the weather, what specials you have, maybe what's going on at recess, what's fashionable, and what is clean, right? So you're going to come up with 5 criteria of what you should consider. So some possible criteria might be, does it fit into your budget? Do the customers want it? A lot of your information about what to consider is going to come from the specifics about it, right? And some of the information that you get here. So your goal is to come up with 5. If you can come up with a few less than that, that's okay, but at least 3. At least 3. All right, now comes the fun part. So now you've got to think about the criteria that you brainstormed and decide on one final solution. So you've already come up with the possible solutions. So now you are thinking about the criteria that you've chosen. So let's say if you put as one of your criteria that the customers want it. Well, then you would be thinking about which of these 5 solutions is the highest rated for the customers. So that would be the food alley and the security. So one of those solutions, that might be your reason for picking the solution. All right, then you're going to give, once you decide what your final solution is, you're going to tell me why this solution makes the most sense. So what are those 3 reasons? Maybe it's related to the customer service. Maybe it's related to fitting into the budget. Maybe it has something to do with the extra information that's in all of this. So once you finish that, you will click the turn in button. You just have one more quick activity, is to share your final decision on Flipgrid. You'll just click here. You'll have to log in with your Google account. And then you will do, it's basically exactly what you did at the end of that activity, but it's how to spend the money at the amusement park. So you'll click, I think you guys all know how to do a Flipgrid. If you're not sure, you can just reach out to me and I'm happy to explain it to you. I miss you guys. I hope to see you at our morning meeting every morning at 10:40.